What's going on YouTube? Okay, before I get started, let me put it out there. I haven't really said this, but some people have asked me and have kind of avoided it. But yes, I am getting into more so counseling and more so mental health. Okay, from a career standpoint, that is what I'm transitioning into. So definitely teaching is involved, but I'm making that phase into the next career move, so to speak. Okay, where I really want to be. I never planned on teaching forever. I just needed the actual experience to say I was in the classroom. So I'm actually carrying out the next phase and moving into what I really want to do, mental health. Okay, and more so dealing with the mental health of children and teenagers, hence me being in public education, because I feel like it's the best medium for me to carry out, what I want to do. Okay, but I'm concerned with how people think. Because how we think, everything starts with a thought, or the lack of a thought, right? So if you want to get at the root of a problem, you have to understand what somebody was thinking and what was going on in their head, right? So yes, that's what I'm trying to do. Do I use YouTube as a way to work on those skills and just see what's going on with people? Yeah, I do, right? But at the same time, I'm also being real. I don't lie. Everything I put out here is truthful. Okay, I don't fabricate anything. What's the whole point? Especially using YouTube. That's why one of the reasons why I came on here is because, you can be a whole lot more forthcoming as opposed to doing stuff in real life, right? So for me, the purpose of being on YouTube and my channel would be defeated if I wasn't being truthful and honest, right? So just let me put that out there, But with that being said, I want to talk about the whole idea of how men are putting too much pressure on themselves in terms of what's going on with our economy. Okay, unfortunately, the powers that be aren't doing a good job at really putting it out there how bad things are. Especially depending on where you live. Everybody wants to act like, it's okay, there's nothing wrong, right? And the people who are saying that are the people who are working. Right? There's nothing wrong. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's easy for you to say that because you're still getting a paycheck, right? You turn on CNN and all these other places, and all of a sudden you start seeing, white male professionals who aren't working, right? There's something wrong with that. An educated white man, middle-aged, with all these qualifications, and he can't find a job. Oh shit, there must be something wrong. Okay, and we've all seen stories talking about that, right? Now, with that being said, you have to understand as a man, being out of work, and I'm talking about men who actually are in, the labor pool, the job market. They have some sort of skill or qualifications that make them employable. I'm not talking about the people who were, unemployable or who didn't have a job when things weren't as bad. I'm talking about the people who lost their job, okay, or who will, or, who've had their contracts altered based off of what's going on, and they're qualified for what they do. They have some sort of skill, and they've taken the time and the effort, the money, whatever, to say, hey, I can do this job or this task at this level. I'm talking about those people. Okay? Now, in terms of this group of men, I feel like a lot of you guys are struggling because you're dealing with the whole idea of, not being employed. Not from a financial standpoint, I understand, hey, who wouldn't be struggling? You went from getting money to not getting money. But in terms of psychologically, emotionally, just from what's the word I'm looking for? A self-confidence point of view, right? That's, I think, the word I'm looking for. From a whole, self-perception, feeling like, you're inadequate as a man, you can't feel that way. Like I said, there's enough, white men who are quote unquote supposed to be, at the top, the people who were the first ones hired, who are not working anymore. Right? A lot of people who thought there was a buffer, I'm a white man and I'm middle aged, I'm qualified. This is a problem for minorities. A lot of them aren't getting jobs, and now it's a big effort problem. right? You know, how long has America been dealing with unemployment? But because of the face of unemployment was never, you know, the middle-aged white guy, so people never really, you know, or the powers that be didn't really care. But now that it's going on, it's like, oh, it's chaotic, right? Now, at the end of the day, like I said, for most of us, you know, we're working for somebody. And when you have an economy that's doing bad, businesses aren't making money, so they can't pay the people who make the businesses run. This is what it is. So you can be qualified, but it doesn't matter how good you are. If they're not making money, right, because of larger factors that aren't necessarily on the fault of the business or the people, but because you have larger issues that are affecting how much money they can make and they can't pay you, you can't feel like you suck as a person. You can't. I understand that in the past, you know, it was a knock on somebody's manhood to say, oh, you don't have a job. Okay? But in terms of today's world, or in terms of what's going on right now, you can't let that shit fly. It is what it is. It's unfortunate because it really seems like men are, you know, definitely struggling more than the women. Why? Because it's okay for a woman to be broke. So if a woman loses her job, does it matter? You know, back to normal. Go to any club right now, there's a whole bunch of women with no money, still clubbing, you know, still hoping that somebody buys them a drink or whatever money they get, they're still spending on bullshit because it's no big deal for a woman to be broke and to not have money. But for a man, it's a big deal. So it's always been used as a shaming tactic for men. Oh, you know, you don't have a job. What kind of man are you? You can't provide. You can't do X, Y, and Z, right? And I understand that, okay, when things are going smoothly. But when people who are qualified, who are still losing their jobs, you can't feel that way. You know, if a chick wants to shame you or put you in that position and you know you've actually, you know, done everything in your power, it is what it is. Really. You just have to keep on moving. Right? You shouldn't have your self-confidence, you know, shaken up where you feel broken as a man because of it. Right? You know, you can't feel that way. I understand that sometimes, you know, you lose your job because you're not good, but qualified people are losing their jobs. I don't think people are understanding. Qualified people are losing it. You have businesses, they're trying to cut back, but you have to understand you have businesses that aren't trying to, you know, slim down. But, they're trying to not go out of business. So it's not about, you know, corporate restructuring and, you know, I got the axe because, you know, my performance portfolio wasn't on point. No, you got fired because your business may not be there next month. Right? You know, it is what it is. So as men, you have to understand that, you know, and you can't at this point in time, don't get me wrong, I understand that the whole idea of having a shaming tactic can possibly be, you know, beneficial. The whole idea of, you know, embarrassing a man for not working can be seen as a good thing. You know, get your ass up, produce, be productive. Don't get me wrong, okay? But in regards to it applying in today's world, it's almost as if we need to take a break. It's like the women have to understand that the whole idea of, you don't have a job or, you know, you're not balling out of control, you're inadequate. It's almost as if we have to say, okay, for the next 3 or 4 years till things get back on track, let's mutually agree, you know, that we have to put this away. So go ahead and put it back in your purse, right? You know, take the safety off, put it back in your purse, because right now ain't nobody working. So, you know, don't give me that. You know, don't give me, you don't have a job. Like, man, shut that shit down. Shut the hell up. You know, ain't nobody working. Turn on TV. You know, all these, you know, white men who are supposed to be, you know, first ones hired and, you know, promoted and, you know, the head honchos, a lot of them don't have a job. Come to where I live. I live in, you know, and you'll see these, maybe I should do it, you know, just drive through a neighborhood, $1 million homes, and I can show you all the damn foreclosed signs on it, okay, grass is dead, unkept homes, you know, you can only tell, there's certain neighborhoods where there's only like 2 people living on a whole block, ghost town, big ass homes, big rock pools, big slides, all empty, no one's there. No one is there. Bank owned, bank owned, bank owned, bank owned. Yellow pieces of paper taped on the window, right? So you have that going on. So like I said, once again, as a man, I can't reinforce this anymore. What you should be doing right now, just do whatever you can, but just put yourself in a position to where when things start to pick up, you're one of the people who are first in line. That's my whole philosophy. Ain't nothing happening right now. I can understand moving fast because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity, but there's no opportunity. So all you can do is make sure that you will be the first one the second something opens up, because you got your shit together, because you had your head up. You weren't walking with your head down because you felt somehow belittled as a man. Nah, don't do that, man. You'll be okay. So y'all take it easy. Hopefully this helps some of y'all. I know it helps me. I tell this to myself too, right? Because I'm not immune to anything. So y'all be good. God bless.